Alright guys, my name is George. I had a few requests out there to do a little video showing off this new product that I just got. Is these wireless, not necessarily wireless, but they're GameCube adapters for the Nintendo 64. So in my situation, I use them as wireless for my GameCube Wavebirds. That just really helps out during parties and whatnot, especially playing Mario Party. I feel like people just drink too much, they trip over my cables, and I always worry about my nice games going bad. So I had a free coupon and helped me cover the cost of these guys. I believe they're called Raphnet Tech. I can put the link in the description. But this guy is out of Canada and he makes these cables. So they look like this. They got a N64 plug on one side and a GameCube plug on the other side. As you can see, I'm using the Wavebird situation here. And they simply just plug in, and they are good to go. So I can kind of show you my setup I got here. I got 4 of them there, going into TV. I know some of you guys are purists when it comes to the TV, so I pulled out the old CRT TV out of the closet, as well as what I usually use. And again, I'm not super competitive when it comes to this. This is the only game I somewhat play. And yeah, let me give you guys a little demo. Here's the Wavebirds. So, playing with 4 people, I noticed there is a very little lag, if not any, like, noticeable. Nothing to bother me at all. And if you can see, when I turn it on, those lights flicker. So that's 4P, 3P, 2P, and that's 1P. Alright, so I think I figured out the best way of holding it so you can see me and the screen. So I'll give you a little walkthrough. Very responsive, like I was saying earlier. I'm just going to throw in another human here, just so we don't have any issues. And then close out. Alright, you can still see perfect. Close out those guys for now. If you look at it, it starts out just a standard N64 controller. So we pull one of those guys up. X and Y don't do anything. You can set these later, so I'm just giving you what it defaults to. A is A, B is B, C stick up and C stick down, left and right. Those are all corresponding to these C sticks. R corresponds to R, so which is kind of goofy when you're playing Smash because it actually grabs for you. And then L is your taunt still, just like in Smash Bros. So these are just, and it's really easy to transfer those controls and get them back to your GameCube version. Z is shield. So again, just a little janky to start off with. But as you can see, like, I mean, as far as everything goes, very responsive. Now, in order to change it, what you will notice is in order to get into the debug menu, you're going to hold start down for about, I think it's like 5 seconds. And then that should start glowing. There it goes. See it glow? Oh, just exited out of it. Alright, one more try. Held it for too long. Alright, so now when you're into it, you can preset 4 different controls using the D-pad. So I'm going to push D-pad up, and that's my Smash one. And then it double blinks, exits out, and now I'm set up to Smash Bros. So X makes me jump now. Y makes me jump, Z is now my grab, R is shield, L is shield, D-pad up is taunt. So that's my setup, and you can do any setup you want. I mean, for playing first-person shooters, let's say you're playing Turok or something, you can actually set the C stick to be your moving, just as it would be the C-pad. It's really convenient, especially getting that diagonal going across like that. The only thing I think you can't change is you cannot swap the control stick to be anything else other than control. So you can set this to be like push up and A at the same time, but it will still always have that up. It can be a little annoying, and I don't know if I'm explaining that well, but you'll figure it out if you get these. Yeah, just kind of as far as going through, and then I mean L cancels, you can hit those about, or I guess Z cancels, whatever you want to say. I mean, guys, I have not had any issues with these at all, other than just like the small little Wavebird quirks, or whatever. And those, again, you're going to get with just any Wavebird. But if playing a regular... Oh, you know what? Somebody did ask for a wired controller. I can go grab one of those in a second. But even playing with 4 guys, no issue. I thought there might be some sort of latency or lag or an issue pulling too much current. But again, nothing of the sorts. This guy really did an outstanding job. And you can go to his website, and you can actually program your own control setup, and then it'll tell you. It's kind of fun how you put it. So you'll hold start down, you'll enter into the menu, and then it'll give you a series of commands, like the old-fashioned codes where you just tap in a series of buttons, and then all of a sudden you just push start, and then it'll save it all and set that. And then you can actually set the codes, like I said, to D-pad up, left, down, and right. So all you do is you hold start, and then you push one of those, and it'll automatically default to that. So I can open up any of these controllers, and they'll all work out. So that's a basic run through. And like I said, there's no problem playing 4-player with these. Yeah, let me go grab a different game and play with the wired controller. My good old-fashioned wired controller. It is a little different. That's just for a different project. I have the pins all separated out so I can disconnect it and plug into my 3DS. It's very much a basic controller. There's no other modifications to it, and it plays just fine. Oh, yep, so my X and Y don't work right now, so I want to hold start, get into you'll see that second one start blinking. Oh, might be upside down. There it is. D-pad up, and then it'll save it. Now my X and Y work just fine. So, I mean, guys, really, it's pretty fantastic. Oh, you know what? If you notice, too, that's just a custom label that I designed. This is the standard Smash Bros. No other modifications to the cartridge itself. But, yep, there you have it. Let me grab a different game. Hey, guys, so this is one of my personal favorites, Snowboard Kids 2. And the reason I want to show you this one is just kind of show you like how the C-stick functionality is kind of different when you're playing like a racing game or like Donkey Kong or something where you're actually, or Legend of Zelda where you're using the C-stick. And yeah, so if you guys don't know this game, when you're jumping in the air, you'll hold A and then throw a direction and a C-stick direction, and what that'll do is do a trick for you. Now, when you're just playing with the C-stick, now you have to like actually jump and throw a direction. So actually, you know what? It's like, it's a little weird at first, but now that I kind of got used to it, I actually kind of enjoyed it. And, you know, it's kind of impressive. And if you kind of look, little movements, it's very sensitive. I mean, I'm not even going all the way to the wall of it. So you kind of flick it, you do a little side trick. You know, it's kind of fun. And, you know, you really, again, I'm not a huge competitive player. I only play this for the fun of the system, and I really enjoy it for that. Yeah. And I screwed that one up. But you guys get the idea. Now, I mean, if you notice, slight movement, and I'm kind of rotating there. Very sensitive. But I want to say, you know, it plays pretty similar to the 64. I got to be honest, guys. Like, I have no complaints over this whatsoever. All right, let me show you. A different game. You get the idea? Oh man, I might not even seeing that. So real quick here. This is one downside. Now, if you notice, it says, it's asking me for my controller pack, memory card, whatnot. It cannot be saved. So what you can do is you just plug in your regular GameCube or your 64 controller. You pop in your card, you load it real quick. You pull it out, then you plug in the GameCube, and that way you can save and play it. And it, you know, if that's a deal breaker to you, you know, you're just gonna have to deal with it because I don't really see any other way around it. And yeah, so I don't really care that much because I really only play to play with friends. And why isn't this working? Oh, that's why I was pushing start. All right. So here's Turok Rage Wars. Another great game. I personally don't think it gets enough love. One of my favorite 4-player games there is. You know, it's just really fast paced. I mean, 007's great and all, but it's not as quick. I feel like you're just spending so much time hunting, and it's just not quite the same. Alright, I don't really care. That's fine. Sure, let's just get to it. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Let's see if I can twist this a little bit. Alright, so this is your general first-person shooter, and someone's firing me already. So what I wanted to show you was, originally you use the C pad to move, so now you just use the C stick. And, I mean, I guess it's backwards from modern first-person shooters, but it's really not that big of a deal to me. Just because I grew up with it, and I never really got into the newer systems. So, I mean, you can, yep, so Z is fire, and again, you can change these to whatever suits you. So A is move your guns around, R is jump. And although it doesn't make great use with the default, it's not too bad. And again, you can set your X and Y to be whatever you want. This is just to show you kind of how that C-stick sensitivity works. So, I mean, it is fairly sensitive. And I mean, if you're using it to look, like I switched it over to look once, and that was a rude awakening because I could barely see anything. It was like the sensitivity was maxed out. You just fly all over. But setting to move is no big deal. It works just as it would. You would expect it to. And yeah, guys, it's great. Great device. The first-person shooters, it just gives you so many different options too, because so many of them have the. Alright, so that might not have synced up quite well. My phone died on me there. Oh man. And yeah, what I wanted to say though was this is really nice. This setup is really nice for the first-person shooters. Because generally speaking, they have pretty lame controller setups. There's a few games that have exceptional ones, but for the most part, not a huge fan of it. And with this, you can set anything to whatever you want, with the one exception with the joystick. Again, if I'm repeating myself, sorry, the phone died on me. But the joystick, if you want up to be up, or like do move, it will also look, because it is set up significantly just to only move. And maybe it'll get patched in a firmware update that the guy has, but as for right now, this will always act as a joystick. You can put controls over it, so if you, let's say you do C-stick for this one, it'll do look and move. And it's just it's pretty janky. So with the one exception of don't change that, you can change anything else. And guys, it's pretty significant. And yeah, if you guys want to see anything else, leave me a message, whatever you want to see. I don't really do these often, as you can probably tell. This is the first video I've actually made like this. So yeah, if you got any recommendations, want to see anything different, just please let me know. I can't do 4-player for you right now because I don't have anybody here to test it with, but I can assure you it works just fine. And overall, 10 out of 10 product. I would highly recommend. And you know, fantastic. Can't say enough good things about it. I got them for a 4-pack off eBay for about $25 or so a piece. So I think it was a total, I think it was just shy of like 100, so about 90 something. And it's money well spent. It could be a lot, but if you think about it, that's a lot cheaper than buying 4 new wireless controllers for the Xbox 360 or something. So yeah, guys, pretty great. Take a look at them. All right, later.